So how did you meet Conan?
Oh, sorry.
So that you did.
I met Robert Smigel through my friend Beth Cahill, who was on SNL.
Right.
When I was in New York doing the Brady Bunch, and then we just hung out a little bit. Then when I was in LA doing the Brady Bunch, he came out because he was working on the ill-fated Hans and Franz movie. So that was his SNL. He was, wrote on SNL, was a producer on SNL, and that was his summer. And we hung out a lot. Then Conan got the job. Robert was his head writer, executive producer, reached out to me, said, hey, which just is, a show like that starts, and then it's like, who's out there doesn't have a job that's funny? And I was one of those people, and I submitted some stuff and I was the first writer hired on the show. But Conan and I met at Junior's Deli here, and we figured out that we had actually been at a party at Bob Odenkirk's house.
Whoa.
Because Bob and Conan did shows at SNL together, and I had been on teams with Bob's improv teams with then Bob's fiance. So I knew Bob that way. And we'd been at Bob's house with like 12 other people and just didn't register each other. And we hit it off very, very much at Junior's. And he, Robert and him both told me that he called Robert and said, hire the guy. And Robert was like, let's see. They hadn't seen me write. I hadn't sent in anything packet-wise. And
so you started as a writer.
Yeah. I had. That was another thing. It's like so much stuff that gets thrown at you, stuff that you don't know how. Hey, write a packet for a late-night sketch show.
Yeah.
Like, now I bet fucking kids are reading articles on the internet about what to do, and they're learning it probably in college.
Yeah.
For me, I was like, oh, gosh, what would I like to see?
I think it's almost better that you don't know much about it.
Yeah, I think so, too. I think so, too, especially in comedy, because you want a spark. You want originality. You want somebody that's thinking about what hasn't been done.
Yeah.
And also, too, anybody that gets too big on, and I found this when I came out here and started working on sitcoms, and there's just a appreciable difference of there's a lot more protective attitude towards people's careers out here, where they're like much more careful, where it was more just like, have fun and fuck around was always what we would do in late night.
I like that too.
Oh, it's so great. But then
I'm a fuck around guy.
I get in a writer's room on a sitcom, and it's like a lot of stuff about like, well, slow down. You got to understand the structure. It's like, I've seen sitcoms. I know how they work. You set up the bit, and there's an A plot and a B plot, and they're about 22 minutes long, and then you fill them with jokes, which, if you were better at, you wouldn't worry so much about structure.
Like for me and Mad TV, the night before I auditioned, I got my agent, my manager's like, listen, they're not really seriously considering you, but
so good luck.
Good luck. That's what she said, because they're looking for a white guy. You know how back then they,
Right.
But
you could not get a white guy on TV.